Hi everybody, my name's Sandy Price and I am your instructor for NLM 235 Ethics and Leadership. I've got my papers here, so I'm going to be looking at you and reading a little bit so I don't forget to tell you anything. This course is unique in a whole bunch of ways. First, although it's open to everybody and all are welcome, this class was especially designed in response to the ASU Athletics Department decision to create a Leadership and Ethics certification program. So you're going to find that there are a whole bunch of athletes in this class. If you will also notice that the leadership and ethics topics that we use are mostly around athletic subjects, although the principles that we apply are applicable in a much wider environment. Okay, so a little bit about me. People want to know. I am a full-time faculty member here at ASU, but I'm also a lawyer and I used to be a lobbyist. Two of the professions that have been stereotyped quite negatively when you think about it. So how did I go from being one of those stereotype lawyers and lobbyist types to teaching ethics? Well, somewhere in my PhD program, I realized that we're not very well trained to sort through ethical issues, at least not the complex kind that we sometimes face. When we were kids, we were taught a bunch of platitudes that taught us some ethics, like don't pinch and don't pull your sister's hair. Then later, when we get into school, we learn a few more, like don't lie and don't cheat on your schoolwork and things like that. Then off to work and you learn even more things like don't steal the office supplies and do exhibit a good work ethic. But unless you had a really amazing mentor somewhere along the way, you probably weren't taught how to make your way through some very complex kinds of ethical dilemmas, and yet those come up all the time. All right, now I have to look and see what I was going to tell you about that. Okay, so here are some examples of problems that don't have really simple answers. Like, should you loan money to a family member or a friend? Should you get romantically involved with a coworker? If somebody makes a rude or discriminatory remark about someone else based on race or religion or looks or national origins, should you let it go or should you step up and do something? Should you give cash to panhandlers or should you refuse? If there isn't a platitude that just tells you what to do right off the bat, sometimes it's really difficult to figure out what the right answers are. Okay, so back to my notes. There aren't necessarily right answers, that's what I wanted to tell you. Only the best answer that you can devise under the circumstance, and one of the things we're going to learn to do this semester is to think about how we get to those answers that we can live with, that we're comfortable with. Okay, so where are we? Okay, I need to make a confession here. It's a little bit switch of gears, but, and my brother's filming this, so this should make him laugh. I'm an expert in leadership and ethics, but I am far from a sports expert. I grew up in a small Midwestern community in the years before Title IX, the law that required schools to make sports opportunities available to women, and I barely learned how to toss a ball. I was not really ever given a lot of opportunity to practice my eye-hand coordination, and to this day my brothers don't like playing ping pong with me. Thankfully, as an adult, I have had an opportunity to learn to like some sports, and thanks to my athlete students, I've learned an awful lot about what it's like to be an athlete, but I'm still not that educated to the details of sports. So if you sense that I don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably right. I probably don't know what I am talking about. I will bring my expertise, you bring your knowledge of sports, and together we'll have all the information we need. Okay, so what about this class? Well, you could say that we have two main tasks to accomplish this semester. One is personal and has to do with laying the groundwork for a form of leadership called authentic leadership. Although there are several leadership theories, you could think of them mostly like leadership styles. And sometimes a situation calls for one style of leadership, while another situation will call for a different approach. However, every really good leader can become one only when they actually are pretty sure of their own values and can align their lives around those values. And that is the basis of any style of leadership, no matter what, and we call that authentic leadership. So we're going to start with authentic leadership, which will prepare you to be a strong and capable person and to emerge as a leader when the opportunity presents. The second task is to take on one of the hairier ethical issues that college athletes face and to talk them out one at a time in a group. So this is where you come in, actually. My former students have come up with about 30 different issues that they would like to talk about over the years, and we can't possibly cover them all. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to go to the Blackboard, and you will find a link to a survey, and you will take the survey and tell me which are your favorite topics, and then I will consider all the students' input as a vote, and the top handful of topics will be the ones that we will take on this semester together. All right, let's see. Next thing you need to know is this class only meets twice. It meets on October 24th, Monday evening from 5 to 8, and again on Monday evening, November 21st, again from 5 to 8. The good news is I've asked them to feed you dinner, so come prepared to eat. Okay, let's see. What else do I need to tell you? The rest of the class will be online, and there's a syllabus up there with your instructions and your due dates. I want you to know that sometimes taking an online class can be difficult because there's no actual class dates to sort of motivate you to get your readings and so forth done. If you find you're struggling or having trouble keeping up with the schedule the way I've laid it out, please do not wait until you are behind and can't catch up. Please contact me and I will tell you all the tricks I've learned for how to organize yourself to get it done. Okay, we do have a book. It's called Life Entrepreneurs by Christopher Gergen and Greg Vanarek, and it's available at the ASU bookstore, or you can buy it online. You might be able to find a used copy, and that is fine. Also, there's other readings, and they will also be posted on Blackboard. If a link to one of them fails, please let me know. You're still going to be responsible for reading it, so if you let me know, I can find you a better syllabus. Okie dokie. I think that's about it, you guys. I look forward to meeting you in person on the 24th, and until then, I will see you on the Blackboard.